welcome to MandoBug Crafts, episode 55. Hey, what's up? I'm MandoBug, but you guys can call me Amanda if you want. You can find me everywhere on the web as MandoBug. I'd like to say thank you to new and returning viewers. Hey guys, thanks for spending some of your day with me. So, starting the show out with something I've learned. This week, it's not so much something that I just learned, but something I actually implemented for the first time. So I had heard in the past that you could take your singles, so you spin up your single, and wind that into a ball, and then ply it on itself, pulling from the center and the outside of the ball to give you a 2-ply on itself. That way there's no waste and you have a 2-ply yarn. I personally normally chain ply, which gives you the same kind of effect with a different technique. You get a 3-ply yarn with no waste instead of the 2-ply yarn, except for with the chain plies you get these, sometimes you can have little bumps where the loops end and a new loop begins depending on how consistently you spun your yarn. So anyways, yeah, so I did the 2-ply center pull ball, and I did that with this yarn. So this is the art yarn that I was spinning last week, or 2 weeks ago actually. I used to record every week, and now I've started recording every 2 weeks, and I actually prefer that now. With Emily, it's a lot easier for me to record every other week than weekly. So anyways, this fiber was gifted to me by Kat from the Cat's Corner podcast, and it's a lovely mix of, I don't know if it said on the card what fiber was in here, so it can be mystery wool, but it was fiber that appeared to be drum carded and then stripped into strips, and so I just spun it up quick and fun. It came out to be 65 yards for, oh, did I write this down? No, I didn't. I think it was like 1.25 ounces. So I got 65 yards, and it's turning out to be like anywhere from like a DK to a bulky weight yarn. So it's definitely thick and thin. Not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I think I might knit it into a hat for Lucy, Kat's daughter, who's just a little bit younger than Emily. So yeah, I really enjoyed just doing a quick and dirty spin, you know what I mean? Like it was fun. It was fun. So moving on to works in progress. Let's see. I was hoping to have this done by now, but it's not. I have to have it done by Monday. It has to get out in the mail by Monday to get to the baby shower on time. So this is the Princess of Hearts cardigan by Deborah Newton. I am using the pattern out of this book, Heirloom Baby Knits, and it's the cardigan on the cover. But I've got most of it done, so you can kind of see the pattern here. I haven't completely followed the pattern in the sense that it told me to sew the arm sleeves. They're worked flat. It told me to sew them shut and then sew them to the body before I picked up the stitches around the top and connected it all. And I thought it would be easier if I skipped the sewing and just picked up stitches so that I could close the holes up nicely later. So I picked up the stitches, and you can see these nice yarn overs. These yarn over holes are meant for you to weave ribbon in and out of, and then it cinches the top up so it has this nice cute like pleated effect at the top. It's hard to hold this because the sleeves aren't sewn yet. But it's got the heart motifs along the bottom and then along the bottom of the sleeve. It's a super cute cardigan, and I'm knitting it in the, I think 6-month size was the smallest size in the book. So I'm knitting it in the 6-month size on US size 4s with Knit Picks Swish DK. And if you guys remember, I ran out of yarn and I had to order another ball. All of this was knit with the new ball. There's no line. Can't even tell. It blended in right perfectly. So that is one nice thing about ordering from big box stores. But yeah, I gotta hurry up and get this done and into my box since the baby shower is coming up this next weekend. So, also, I made some progress on my hidden gussets. I've been keeping this project in my Will Sunday jack bag, and I'm knitting this out of Penguin Soup Royal MCN, and this is the Oogie Boogie colorway that was part of the Nightmare Before Christmas club. Whoa, needles. So I've gotten a good distance knit on them. I'm knitting them parallel on US size zeros, and this is a free pattern on Knitty. And so let's see, this one looks like it's in the middle of something, so we'll look at this one. I'm not sure what's going on with this one, but it's got the twisted rib that opens up some stockinette here as the twisted rib starts closing. And I'm ready for thumbs now, and as I put the thumbs in, I believe the twisted rib will disappear altogether and the rest will just be the stockinette. So I'm really excited to finish these up. This yarn is so soft. I think I say that every week, but seriously, it's really nice. Gotta love those cashmere blends. So, and I think I said that was a free pattern from Knitty. Trying to remember. Also, I made just a little bit more progress on my Lou Cookie Mystery Sock knit along sock. And I'm just gonna be all sorts honest. So here's the foot, and I've started up the leg, and I messed up. I didn't realize that the chart was supposed to be knit on the front and the back until I had already knit a couple of rows up the back. So I don't know how well you can see. Instead of the chart pattern starting on the back like here, it's like, whoops, up there. So, I mean, it's not super big deal, and definitely not a big deal enough where I was going to rip back. Definitely not after having to redo the heel like 4 times because I couldn't figure it out, but I started that, and it's really cool because it's got I think the cable is just now starting to travel, and it travels in the back too, and I had to go sneak peek in the knit along thread to see what they look like, and the cables, like, they look like they're spiraling up the leg, which is really cool. So yeah, I'm working on this, and this one I'm actually knitting one at a time. I believe the pattern is still free. I got it for free. I'm not sure if it's still free, but I'll link to it in my show notes. I'm knitting it on US size zeros out of Dizzy Blonde's Superwash sock in the Tequila Sunrise colorway. And then I have a new work in progress that you guys saw the yarn for last week. So this project is going to take me a long time. I already know that hands down, and I'm okay with that. I've actually learned that it's nice to have some plain stockinette knitting on hand. So this is the Beekeeper's tank that I've started knitting out of linen, and I've got a good 4.5 inches here, and I don't know why. I hope this will block out, but the bottom garter rows they're folding up all around the tank top. And I'm really hoping I can get that to like either pull out or block out. I'm not really sure if you can block linen, but yeah, this is Shibui Knits linen, and this is, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like a really light fingering, almost lace weight. It's like almost 250 yards for 50 grams. So I'm knitting it on US size 2s, and the pattern is a paid for pattern. But right now I'm just knitting, you know, so odd number of stockinette inches. So a certain number of inches in stockinette, and I'm not even a quarter of the way there. So I really like the color, and I'm really excited to see how this tank top turns out. But there's like 250 stitches on the needles, and look at my row gauge. That's another thing I didn't take into account with this yarn, is I ordered enough skeins for the top, but now I'm wondering that my row gauge is a little too tight, and I might end up having to order another skein. So hopefully if that does happen, I can get one in a similar colorway. I'm seeing a trend here that I need to order enough yarn for my projects. Oh goodness. But this linen, you know, I don't have bamboo or wood needles because I prefer the metal needles. I like the slickness of them, but this linen flies off of them. I've dropped stitches on this thing multiple times. The linen really slides. So I would suggest knitting linen on bamboo or wood needles if you were going to knit with linen, just because it has not been too fun with that. So moving on to finished objects, I pulled out a really old finished object, or work in progress, and I made it a finished object. So these were my very first socks that I ever cast on. And let's see if I can tell which one I knit first. Oh, yeah, I can, because I kind of made a mistake. So these are the Philia socks, and they are a free pattern. And I knit these on US size 1 and pretty sure 1.5 DPNs. And this one I had finished, oh my goodness, a long time ago. We'll just leave it at that. You know, I think midsummer last year. I don't know, long time ago. And I knit them out of Peyton's Croy in this Peyton's Croy stretch sock in this Spumoni colorway. Pretty sure that's right. And yeah, so I finished this one a long time ago, and because it was my first sock, it's knit from the top down. I didn't realize that I needed to stretch the sock to measure how, like, when to start the toe. It said, you know, knit until 2 inches before the end of your foot and then start your toe. And I didn't realize you were supposed to, like, I like my socks to stretch, especially if they have the nylon in them, and these socks, this yarn is very stretchy. I didn't realize I was supposed to stretch it. So by the time I realized that, it knit so much, and I decided not to rip back. So I just stretched the yarn and was like, oh man, I need to bind off, and so I did. Like 40 stitches, I think, because I had just started the decreases. And so I have this flat toe. It doesn't alter the fit of the sock at all, but it looks funny. So I finally finished the second one. So I have my first pair of socks, and you can see the toes are different because I did this one a little bit better. I tried to copy this one, but it didn't quite happen. But they fit fine, and you can't tell. I bound off less stitches on this one. So, you know, it is what it is, but they'll fit their purpose, and I'm glad to have them done because I wanted to get those DPNs free again, and old work in progresses like this stick in your mind, especially since these were my first socks I ever cast on, and especially because they were so close to done when I picked it up. So this one was done, and when I picked this one up, I was like right here. Like, barely had anywhere left to go. So, I'm glad to get that off the needles. And then, also, here's something you haven't seen. So, I told you guys last week during Check It Out, I shared some of my enabling, and I told you that I ordered a braid of fiber from Penguin Soup and a skein of yarn. Oh, here's the skein of yarn, by the way, since I didn't get to share it. It came in the mail. This is on her fairy sock base, which is a 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina, and this is in the balloon room colorway, and it's just these nice concentrated colors. And of course, you know, orange. But it's got lovely green, red, pink, blue, purple. And I believe this colorway was inspired by the movie Up, and there's a photo of a room filled with the balloons from the house, and I absolutely love this, and it sparkles, and I'm excited to knit that into socks. But anyways, so the braid of fiber came, and I couldn't wait to show it to you guys. I already spun it up. So here it is. This was on her King BFL fiber, so it's 100% superwash British BFL, and it was 4 ounces. Oh, in the Frozen Heart colorway. That's what I was gonna say. And it was a gradient dye, so it went from like a turquoise to a dark blue to a lavender to a dark purple, and it was dyed in a way that it had white spaces in it, and it wasn't kind of like mottled, so the white spaces weren't even, and so I was trying to figure out how to spin it, and I decided to split the braid in half lengthwise and make gradient socks. So the colors are gradient in order, but they're not even because of the way that it was dyed the mottled way. But I think they're going to turn out really nice. And I didn't do a good job of splitting the fiber down the evenly down the middle. So one braid is a little heavier than the other, so it'll have longer yarn. And I'm hoping to knit the socks until I run out of yarn. So I think what I'm going to do is just kind of eyeball it as far as the color progression goes. And if I have to cut some of the yarn out of one of the socks to make them even, I think I might do that. We'll see. I didn't even tell you guys. So there was 4 ounces, and combined I got about 283 yards. So yeah, combined about 283 yards. So I'm hoping for sport weight socks. You can see here. And this is chain plied, so I could keep the colors consistent. So yeah, you will be seeing socks from me soon. And then my final finished object is on me. Yay! So I finished my Hito Fude cardigan. So this cardigan was knit out of Tosh Merino Light in the Turn colorway on US size 4s, and this pattern is a paid for pattern, but it's less than $2 US. So let me see if I can share it with you guys. So I really enjoy the shape of this cardigan and the knit. I knit it in the small size, and the sleeves block down a little bit further than I thought they would, but it's nice. It's right past the elbow. It doesn't feel too short or too long. And then when I blocked the bottom, it came down pretty far, which I like. I really like cardigans that come down, you know, this far, and you can see the front panels kind of come up the front. Overall, I'm very pleased with the cardigan. I like the way that it fits, and I just realized standing back here, you guys probably can't hear me as well, sorry. But I love how it opens. I absolutely love the way that the lace panel opens. I think it's really cute. So I'm very happy with this cardigan. I'm very happy with the knit. The knit was fun. I want to make another one. Now, I know I won't be as motivated to finish it as quickly as I was for this one, so I probably won't cast one on for a while, but I really did enjoy this cardigan, and I've already worn it out twice, and I think it's going to be something I wear out a lot. I did knit it in gray, which isn't the most exciting color to knit with, but when I'm knitting clothes for myself, which this is my first cardigan, this is the first big clothing item that I've knit for myself, I kept in mind, like, what am I going to wear? You know, I might love a certain color, but is it really going to fit with my wardrobe, and am I really going to wear it? And for me, this gray fits with everything I have. I wear a lot of black, a lot of neutral and earth toned colors, so this will fit in with everything. The other thing I like about it is, although it's lacy, you can tell, like, for me, lacy things look super formal, and like way too fancy for me, but I feel like this cardigan looks well, like I'm wearing it with a black t-shirt and jeans, and I don't feel like it's too dressy, you know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm overdressed, so, or not dressing appropriately with it. So yeah, I'm super happy with my cardigan. I definitely recommend that you guys knit one for yourself because I think you'll love it just as much as I do. And this, the small size took two skeins and then just a little bit of a third skein of the TML. So I thought that was good for yardage wise. I think the lace helps with that. You know, it really lets you stretch out your knitting so you get, you know, more for less. So moving on to check it out. So for check it out this week, I wanted to share with you guys a website called Knitter's Review. I don't know if you guys have seen this website before. I had never seen it, but I was looking for local events and this website popped up with some. And it has a whole bunch of other things on it, but what I was interested in particularly was the knitting events list that they have going on, and it seems pretty extensive and it covers all of the US. So I guess this is more for the US viewers. Sorry, everyone outside of the US, but yeah, if you're not sure of local events in your area and you want to check, you can go to the Knitter's Review website and look at the events, and I'm pretty sure they're not categorized by location, they're categorized by date. So you will have to kind of scroll through everything, but I thought that was a pretty sweet website. It's definitely in my favorites now, so so moving on to current events. So the Double Dip Cal has officially kicked off. It's running from March 1st to May 31st, and we already have some lovely entries in the thread. So if you are participating in any cals, I encourage you to enter your project that you entered into those cals into my cal. That's really the only requirement. So we have a pretty extensive list at the top of the discussion thread for the cal of other cals that are going on right now. So if you need inspiration or you're looking to join some new knit-alongs, you can kind of check out that list. It seems like right now, for the biggest bang for your time, instead of biggest bang for your buck, biggest bang for your time would be to knit some socks. There are a lot of knit-alongs that have to do with socks right now. Sock knit-alongs or sock yarn knit-alongs. So that's what I would suggest doing. So also, real quick, I guess I have some stuff on the table that I didn't put into my show notes. So I was going to share this with you guys. I did a little bit of combing of some fleece that I had. So I had some BFL fleece that I dyed, and I sent it through my picker, and now I've combed them into some nests. So I dyed a batch blue, but I put all the fleece in at once, and the fleece at the bottom soaked up the dark color, while the fleece at the top only got a little, you know, it only got a little bit of the dye. It didn't get the full concentration that the fleece at the bottom of the pot got. So I had this bunch of fleece that was like dark blue and light blue all over. So I started combing it, and so I have one little dark blue nest and a little light blue nest. And when I get enough nests, I plan on blending them together on my drum carder. And then I have some orange and some, you know, blackish gray. So I am finding that the colors, I kind of took pieces of the fleece from the same area for the different colors, and some of the colors are easier to comb than the other colors, and I'm thinking that's because of where the fiber came from on the fleece. So I'm really starting to learn, like, there are definitely valuable parts of the fleece that are nicer than the other parts of the fleece, and I kind of wish that I would have examined the fleece more before I split it up into sections. But I mean, that's just, I guess that's what happens when you're new at something, right? You kind of overlook some of the small things, and hindsight's 20/20. So next time when I get a fleece, I'm definitely going to be paying better attention to where are my high quality fiber areas on the fleece and where are my lower quality areas, and you know, is there a big difference between those areas, and process that fleece accordingly. Because like I think this orange was really hard and so was the black, but the blue was a dream. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was the Eat Sleep Knit knit-alongs. I've been participating in them. That's kind of where the idea from the double dip cow came from, because I'm participating in these knit-alongs, which also allows me to enter into other knit-alongs. Like this cardigan I knit for the Eat Sleep Knit knit-alongs. Then I also entered it into the Innis Knit Treat Yourself cow and the Swift Knits Selfish Knitting cow. So it allows you to kind of double dip in things. But anyways, I needed some new needles for my sport weight socks because I knit everything on zeros, but I'm not going to be able to knit these on zeros. I think that will be too tight of a gauge. So when I ordered my needles from Eat Sleep Knit, I also ordered some yarn, which you guys will see later. But I hit my 5-mile milestone and I got the surprise bag. So if you don't want to see it, go ahead and skip ahead. So here it is. I got this little Notions pouch, and it came with a little soak sample. Man, it's overcast outside today, so my lighting must just be blowing everything out. Some darning needles from Hiya darning needles, and Hiya locking stitch markers. And this I really like. Has I Heart SK on it, but it's a little post-it notes and then the post-it tabs. I love these post-it tabs for when I'm working out of a book, like I am with the Hearts, the Princess of Hearts cardigan. These are great. That way you don't have to write in your book. You can post-it note down just a little tab, and there's just enough room for you to write something small if you need to, but you don't have to write in the book or keep like a separate notebook of your progress. And the other cool thing is the front. I don't know if you can tell, it's got a ruler on it across the bottom. So, and then it also came with a measuring tape, and I'm on the Team Fleecy Foxes, so I got a Fleecy Fox, and it's orange. Yay! I don't think that was because they know orange is my favorite color. I'm pretty sure it just might be the Fleecy Fox's measuring tape colors, or I could have just randomly gotten an orange. Either way, I'm happy. So yeah, I did get that this week. Okay, that's all that's on my table, I'm pretty sure. So moving on to Let's Chat. So I wanted to say thank you guys for giving me your recommendations for different things to help you with working out. And then for this week, I was gonna have the topic be swaps. So I am really interested in participating in a swap or two or a few or whatever. Not all at once, of course, because I've never actually participated in a swap. So I wanted to ask you guys, what kind of swaps are your favorite kind of swaps, and where do you go to find these swaps? Are you finding your swaps on Instagram, on Facebook, or do you do the craftster.org swaps? As a swapping newbie here, I'm interested in any advice or what you have found to be helpful when looking for or participating in swaps. I think there are even threads on Ravelry just for swaps. So just let me know. Have you guys done a swap? Are you doing a swap now? Are you lurking places for swaps? Just because I don't really know, and I'm curious. So other than that, how my last 2 weeks have been, they've been pretty good. Emily is doing a lot better, sleeping through the night now. Some days she doesn't sleep, really. She'll nap for like maybe a total of an hour or two, and those can be a little frustrating because she is so demanding when she's awake. but she is doing a lot better sleeping through the night, which means I'm getting sleep, my husband's getting sleep, so we're a lot happier. So my father-in-law was visiting last time I talked to you guys. His trip down here went very well, I think. It's always hard for family members who come visit us to leave. You know, it's really hard to say goodbye to the grandchildren. So it was nice having him, and he left last week. Trying to think if anything else happened this week. I got a bunch of days off. They switched my schedule around, and it worked out really sweet, where I had 3 days off, worked one day, and then I had 3 days off again. And I don't expect that to happen again anytime soon, but it was nice. That's why I got so much crafting done. So, yeah, I think that's all I have to say. We haven't done anything exciting. I spend a lot of time in the house with Emily just because it's not always easy to take her out. I mean, we did go to the mall. I got a new pair of running shoes. That's important. I've been working on the Couch to 5K, and my running shoes are just a little bit too tight. I think my feet grew a little bit from the pregnancy, which I've heard can be normal, but it was making them uncomfortable and a little bit swollen after my workouts. I'm at the point now where I'm starting to jog more than I am walking, and so the shoes really are more important than they were before. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys this week. I'm not used to having this Let's Chat part, so I'm gonna have to do better about remembering what's happened these last 2 weeks to talk about, because really all I can think about is today. It might be the part of being a new mom where all your days kind of blend together and you're like, was that last week or 2 weeks ago, or did that happen today? Like, you know what I mean? So, alright, well, I hope you guys got some good progress on your craft of choice, and I hope you guys have a good next 2 weeks, and I will see you then. Alright, bye!